Imagine this. You're having a completely normal day. Maybe you're working, driving, at the gym watching television, then suddenly an explosion of pain hits your head. Not slowly, not gradually, instantly. Like lightning inside your skull. People who experience it often say the exact same sentence, "This is the worst headache of my life." And let me be clear, that sentence can terrify doctors for a reason. Because this isn't always a normal headache. This can be something called a thunderclap headache. And in some cases, it can signal a medical emergency happening inside the brain. The scary part, most people have never even heard of it until it happens to them. Modern culture teaches people to ignore pain. You're told to push through exhaustion, push through stress, push through headaches. Take a pill, drink coffee, keep working. But here's the truth nobody wants to hear. Not every headache is harmless. A thunderclap headache is different because it reaches maximum pain within seconds. That's why doctors treat it seriously. This is not your typical stress headache after a long day. This is sudden, violent, explosive. And the dangerous part is that many people delay getting help because they assume they're overreacting. That delay can become deadly, because when the brain sends an emergency signal, time matters. A healthy man in his early 40s finishes lifting weights at the gym. Everything feels fine. Then suddenly, boom, a crushing pain slams into his head. He grabs the bench. Vision blurry, heart pounding. People around him ask if he's okay. He laughs nervously and says, "Probably dehydration." So he goes home, lies down, waits it out. Hours later, he collapses. At the hospital, doctors discover bleeding around the brain caused by a ruptured aneurysm. And here's the brutal part. The body warned him, but he didn't realize how serious the warning was. Nobody tells people enough that some symptoms are not meant to be ignored. Let's destroy one dangerous myth right now. Not all headaches are just stress. A thunderclap headache can be connected to extremely serious conditions like brain bleeding, stroke, aneurysm rupture, blood vessel spasms, dangerous blood pressure spikes. And unlike regular headaches, thunderclap headaches appear suddenly and violently. People often describe them as feeling like they were hit in the head with a hammer. That's not normal. And here's what scares doctors the most. The headache can sometimes be the first warning sign before something catastrophic happens. That's why emergency rooms take these symptoms seriously. Because when blood leaks around the brain, every minute matters. So what's actually happening inside the body? Here's the simplified version. Sometimes a blood vessel inside the brain weakens over time. Pressure builds silently. Then suddenly something ruptures, leaks, or spasms violently. Blood irritates sensitive tissues surrounding the brain. Pressure changes rapidly. Pain signals fire instantly. That's why the headache feels explosive instead of gradual. And it's not always just head pain. Some people also experience nausea, vomiting, neck stiffness, vision changes, confusion, weakness, sensitivity to light. This is why doctors never casually dismiss sudden severe headaches. Because the brain is one organ you cannot afford to gamble with. And here's the disturbing reality. Many people ignore dangerous symptoms because modern life trained them to normalize suffering. People think, "I don't have time for the hospital. It's probably nothing. I don't want expensive medical bills. I'll just sleep it off." But let me be brutally honest. The brain does not care about your schedule. Biology does not negotiate, and sometimes the body only gives one major warning before disaster happens. That's what makes thunderclap headaches terrifying. The speed, the suddenness, the unpredictability. This is not a moment for internet guessing games. This is the moment for immediate medical attention. So what should someone actually do if a thunderclap headache happens? Simple. Treat it like an emergency. Immediately. Not tomorrow. Not after a nap, not after searching symptoms online for 3 hours. Get medical help. Doctors may perform brain scans, neurological exams, blood vessel imaging, and other emergency tests to rule out dangerous causes. And yes, sometimes everything turns out okay, but that decision should come from trained medical professionals, not social media comments, not denial. And here's another important point. People with uncontrolled high blood pressure, smoking habits, stimulant drug use, or family history of aneurysms should take sudden neurological symptoms especially seriously, because prevention matters too. But now comes the uncomfortable question: why do so many intelligent people still ignore symptoms this serious? The answer is psychological. Humans hate uncertainty. People would rather believe it's probably nothing than face the possibility of a real emergency. Because fear creates denial. And denial feels emotionally safer in the moment, but avoiding reality does not change reality. A brain emergency does not become less dangerous because someone waited longer to deal with it. And honestly, that mindset has cost lives. Let me give you the reality check most people need. Your health is not invincible. Youth is not immunity. And looking healthy does not guarantee safety. Some people who experience thunderclap headaches are athletes, professionals, parents, completely ordinary people. Medical emergencies do not always announce themselves politely. Sometimes they arrive instantly. That's why awareness matters, fast action matters, and education matters, because when it comes to neurological emergencies, minutes can change outcomes forever. This isn't fear-mongering, it's reality. Now here's the hopeful part. Not every thunderclap headache leads to tragedy. Some causes are treatable. Many people recover fully because they acted quickly and got help immediately. That's the key. Awareness, speed, action. This video is not here to make people paranoid. It's here to make people informed. Because recognizing a dangerous symptom early could literally save a life, maybe even your own. So remember this phrase: the worst headache of my life. If that ever happens suddenly and explosively, take it seriously. And if you want more brutally honest health content that could protect your future, subscribe now. Leave a comment below if you've ever experienced a sudden severe headache or knew someone who did. Your story might help someone else recognize the warning signs before it's too late. And watch the next video on screen, because there are other silent symptoms your body should never ignore.